Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at Loki Kia in Clearwater, Florida, because guess what? We finally tracked one down. This is the updated, refresh, changed up 2022 Kia Stinger, but this one is not a regular GT. This is the GT line. But before we get into this sportback, sexiness, performance sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. The Stinger. That really was the vehicle that got the ball rolling in such crazy momentum that's led us to 2022 model year. The Stinger hit the streets, people opened up their eyes, they said, wow, that's a Kia? And now we have vehicles like the Telluride, the Seltos, the K5, the Carnival, the list keeps going on and on and on. Now we've already brought to you the 2022 Stinger GT, which does feature a lot of the same changes that this GT line has, but the big news is not only does it have some exterior changes, also some changes to the inside, but really I think the thing that everybody's been waiting for is more horsepower underneath the hood. So what I want to do is I want to try to do a twofer here. We're going to do two comparisons. I want to compare this Kia Stinger GT line. Of course, we need to compare it to the G70, the Genesis G70 with the smaller engine, of course, but I also want to compare it to the BMW 330i, because I think a lot of people have been asking that question. Are they ready to get rid of the name badge, the BMW name badge, and maybe go with the Stinger GT line? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our ceramic silver one and see if we could get those questions answered. Right off the bat, you'll notice the changes at the front end of the vehicle, just like we kind of showcased on the GT1 and GT2 Stingers. You'll notice updated headlight housing design. So you're gonna have your LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, and I like the way with the GT line, they actually have different daytime running lamps than your standard Stinger GT. I think that helps separate the two. Plus, I really am liking the differences in the style, especially on this GT line. Now, working your way down, you are gonna get functional, massive corner air intakes, a little bit of gloss black, some nice aluminum finish, but all of that is for aerodynamic efficiency and really channeling that air where Kia wants it to go. Now, sliding across that tiger nose grille. So think about it. We're comparing this to BMW. We're comparing this to the G70 from Genesis. Those brands have very unique grills. So does the Kia Stinger. This is that tiger nose grille. I love the way they refreshed it up. Black chrome finish all the way around. Each of these little pinpoints are all going to be black chrome. You got the updated Kia badge, looking fresh, looking clean. I think the one thing most of you are going to zonk, let me know about it in the comment section, is going to be the plastic plate here in the center. The G70 has it. The BMW has changed it up to where they don't have that plastic plate, but this one does. Let me know how you feel about that. I am going to zonk it. Working your way down, you do have some gloss black, but everything is functional with more of that dark chrome finish. I guess the other zonk of the day is going to be these non-functional inner corner vents, which would have been perfect for some brake cooling, maybe bringing more air to the intercooler, something rather than it just being blocked off plastic. Now you do have a little bit of a lower splitter extension to help with that aerodynamic efficiency, but really that brand identity with the tiger nose grille is there. Now when you get up onto the hood, same hood as last year, that means we got the same zonk, non-functional heat extractors. Would have been great to have a little functionality. And you know what? If they would have just left it all gloss black with no fake vent, we wouldn't have even been having this discussion, because to kind of break up the sea of ceramic silver, I think it does a really good job. So just get rid of the faux vent and all is well. Coming around the corner here, the bend, we got some new changes. We got some new wheels to showcase on the GT line. So just like on the GT line, you're gonna get this new style wheel. This is an 18-inch wheel, machined aluminum, that Y-spoke design. I'm digging the design of the wheel. I think it fits the personality of the car. Let me know what you think. Comparing this to a G70, comparing this to a 330i, you know what wheels come on those. Let me know how these fall into place. You'll notice you'll get standard brake calipers, nothing fancy like Brembo calipers that you would get on the GT. So that's one area where there is some difference when it comes to performance. Obviously underneath the hood is one of them, but also the braking capability. We're still on a rear-wheel drive platform. So just like the G70, just like the 330i. Power is going to the rear wheels, but new for 2022, you can get this with all-wheel drive, so something to think about. Coming down the side, love the clean body lines. You do have a functional side vent, which is great. That black chrome, a little bit of flat black. Lori's kind of showing it off, how it extends a little bit there. I think they did a great job with that side vent. We also have some new ornamental pieces. So they put this black chrome finish on top of the side mirrors, which these side mirrors are power folding, which is a nice touch, but I love the black chrome, love the gloss black just a little bit, and then you got your turn signals built in. Black chrome finish on the trim. So thank you, Kia, for doing that. No sunroof on this GT line, but all the other lines on the exterior looks like the bigger brother, that twin turbo V6 Stinger GT. I always like to point out the body line coming off of that side vent. Really gives it just so much movement, even though the car isn't moving. I think the biggest differentiator between the G70 and between the BMW 3 Series is that beautiful sportback design. Love the way they take the rear trim all the way into that rear pillar area where it meets the hatch lid. The one zonk, obviously it's DOT required, but this little big finger of a reflector here kind of just kills the look a little bit. I wish there was a better way to solve that problem. Plus, as you work your way down, we do have another non-functional vent. It looks good, just make it a little functional. For aerodynamic efficiency, coming out back, you're gonna get that updated taillight. Look at the way the LED lights go all the way across. The Stinger badge, there's our GT line badge, looking clean. Everything else is just spot on the money. Dropping on down, you're gonna get the same rear diffuser as the bigger brother, plus you're getting the updated exhaust tips, quad exhaust, functional tips, nothing fake. The only thing that is fake, which we are gonna zonk, is this fake vent back here. Why do they do stuff like this? Just keep it smooth. Love the rear diffuser, but why don't we pop the hood and talk about the big horsepower number difference with this 2022 GT line. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on our Stinger GT line. Now, like I said, updates to the outside. There's gonna be some updates to the interior, but there's big updates underneath the hood. You're still gonna get that same great aluminum bracing, looks really nicely done from the front end to stiffen up the front of the business. Tasteful engine cover, and then yes, this is the smaller engine, but guess what? It's producing more power from last year. That's that 2.5 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 300 horsepower. That's up from 255 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to the same 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 is where you're really gonna win. Last year's Stinger GT line, around 6.9 seconds. This one does 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. Top speed 130 miles an hour. MPGs 22 in the city, 32 on the highway. The car weighs 3,611 pounds. And if you're comparing it to the Stinger GT, whether it be a GT1 or a GT2, that engine has 368 horsepower. But comparing it to the 330i, you're definitely coming away with more horsepower. Nicely done with 300. Comparing it to the G70, obviously it's gonna be pretty much an apples to apples comparison, but why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this engine with more horsepower and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, you wanted it. I'm sitting in it. Come and get it. 2022 Stinger GT line. I know you're at that point where you're like, Joe, I've been wanting something sportier. I don't want a K5 GT. It's front-wheel drive. I prefer something rear-wheel drive, but I'm liking the horsepower numbers on this one. How much is it? So MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is right at $37,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Nice soft touch material. There is a bit of gloss black, but the good news is you shouldn't really be touching it, so don't worry about fingerprints over there. Like the way they did the speaker grille cover, nice contrast stitching. Armrest is a little thin and not very comfortable, but it looks good. The bright silver on the door handle pull is looking classy, and the door pocket is a decent size, maybe 2 hot dogs from Costco and a nice Jolt soda to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, a little bit more gloss black, but still nothing too crazy. Soft touch material, nice simulated stitching, the silver trim, and then this is all new for 2022. That's 10.3 inches of visual pleasure smack dab in your face. Nice infotainment system. It's that horizontal design. Obviously, it's got navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is a touchscreen. Let me show you the backup camera. Nicely done. Could be a little bit more clear, but you know what? It's got trajectory, and you got that blind spot detection for when you're backing up with a ceramic silver stinger there. Very nice touch. Put it back in the park, and we're right back again. Now, dropping on down, I love the Mercedes-Benz style AC vents. They did a great job with that. Bright silver stop button. You're gonna have your climate control, dual climate, which is nice to see on the GT line. And then there is a bit of gloss black. But the good news is, I think most people will probably drive their Stinger like that. And the reason why is you got wireless charging, USB, and a 12 volt. And a little place for some Jolly Ranchers. Watermelon, sour apple, cherry. This is gonna control that 8-speed automatic. It's a nice, almost feels like an F16 or maybe an F14 Tomcat thrust modulator. This is what you're gonna be shifting with that 8-speed automatic. A little bit more gloss black, 2 cup holders, and then the key fob. They got rid of the bomb detonating key fob, but it still looks good. You got your remote start, the new Kia badge. Drop that down, you got your drive mode selector knob. I'll show you more of that in the business end. Heated seats, no ventilated seats at this price point, and I'm okay with that. You got your Twinkie tray. Hard armrest, but it looks good. Lift it up, what do we got? You got a nice little tray here for some tokens from Aladdin's Castle when you go to the arcade, and enough room to fit a 5-pound bag of Twizzlers. Let me get that back in there for later. Seats, love them. Nice leather style material, GT line in the headrest, the stitch work, perforated, nice bolstering. It is manual adjustment for the passenger. I, though, have electric assist for the driver. No sunroof on the GT line, but you know what? I love the headroom in here. More room than a G70. Get your butt over here because I got a flat bottom steering wheel that I've been dying to show you. All right, guys, behind the business end, this flat bottom steering wheel going down into the footy box. You can see that they do a great job with a nice aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. BMW doesn't even give you a dead pedal like that. So I'm glad that Kia really stepped up their game there. You have your full electric seat controls, easy to get to, that lower lumbar, ooh, 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 that feels good. And then like I said, I promised you a flat bottom steering wheel. I'm gonna give you a flat bottom steering wheel. Nice GT line badge, looking tasteful, the stitch work, little bit of silver, and then look what we have, the updated Kia badge. So clean, flat black on the buttons. You do have paddles to go up and down the 8-speed automatic. It is manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And the gauges, yes, I know many people are gonna cry that there's no digital display, but you got a nice analog tach, analog speedometer, and a 4.2-inch digital display in the center. There's your different modes: custom, sport, comfort, eco, and smart. I'm going sport. That's how I say I'm smart. And then nice backlit LED gauges. Visibility is great. No head-up display on the GT line, but let's go ahead. Let's get into the back seat and see our passengers are going to enjoy driving around in the Stinger GT. All right, guys, this is another area where the Stinger GT line stings the competition right in the neck, killing them with backroom seating area. Absolutely phenomenal how much space is back here, including headroom. And that's with that sexy roof line. How Kia pulled that off is like black magic, but it works. Backs of the seats, I am gonna zonk because of the plastic, but I know I'll keep saying that for parents, it's easy to clean your kids' boogers off the back of this. And then we have the cargo net. Not my favorite, especially if you're gonna take a cookie cake and slide it in there for later. This is gonna cut right into that cookie cake and make it all disgusting. But the nice thing is they give you that same tasteful AC vents as up front. For the backseat passenger, we got full plug-in, 12 volt and a USB. Tons of leg room, obviously, as I'm sitting here. And then on top of that, yes, we have an armrest as well. So you can see, killing the competition right in the neck. But why don't we go ahead, let's go into the cargo area and see if we can continue demolishing BMW and the rest of the brands with the amount of usable space in this thing. All right, guys, like I said, we got that sexy Sportback design. What I love about these designs, especially on the Stinger, is when you open up that rear hatch, look at how much room you have. This is where you're just gonna decimate the BMW 330i and the Genesis G70. That's almost 23 cubic feet of space. Now on the GT line, it is a manual lift, which I'm fine with. It's not very heavy, it's not very hard to do, but you're getting that same great space. But why don't we go ahead, I've been dying to find out how the extra horsepower feels in this GT line. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle and feel the sting of the Stinger. All right, guys, we're leaving Loki Kia. We're in this 2022 Stinger GT line. The great news is, sitting behind the wheel, you feel like you're in the regular Stinger GT. The nice thing is, for 2022, they've updated the horsepower to really allow you to enjoy the driving experience that the Stinger platform brings you. Now, overall drivability feels great. Let's see how the acceleration goes. So I want to come to a dead stop here. I'm going to leave it in automatic shift mode. We're in sport mode. On throttle, here we go. Nice, here we go. So you are waiting a little bit for that turbo to spool up, but once you get going, you're definitely going to have that faster acceleration compared to last year. Now, comparing this to a BMW 330i, definitely going to be quicker, and it's going to be on par with the G70, since the G70 shares many attributes of the Stinger GT. Inside, I love all the appointments, and I actually prefer full analog gauges. I guess that's just old school Joe Raiti and how I feel about certain things, but really overall everything is laid out super well. All right, guys, once again, on throttle, here we go. Definitely quicker than last year. I still think, you know, for the price though, you're getting a lot of car for the money. I personally would spend a little bit more and go with the V6 twin turbo, but it's nice to see that the difference between the two trims has been, the gap has been closed a little bit there, which is really nice. Visibility, just like before, is great, and you're getting that new 10.3-inch infotainment system, just like the GT1 and GT2 Stingers as well, which is another nice touch. I love the steering wheel. I personally like the layout of everything better than the G70. It's gonna be a little hit or miss with the BMW 3 Series, because there's a few things that I really enjoy with that vehicle. But I tell you, ever since I drove my first Stinger, I really fell in love with it. And this GT line, especially with more horsepower, you can't complain about that, because the chassis could obviously handle it, and they've done a great job with it. All right, guys, what I want to do is, I actually took the shifter, you push it over to the left-hand side, and then you could shift with those paddles on the back of the steering wheel. I want to see how this car behaves with acceleration and the actual shifting of the transmission. So let me slow down. Nobody's behind us, thankfully. Come to a nice stop. On throttle, here we go. Smooth shifts. On the brakes, downshift, nice, here we go. Very balanced. I love a rear-wheel drive platform. I mean, if you haven't driven a rear-wheel drive platform in a while, you definitely need to get behind the wheel of the Stinger GT line or GT, because it just allows so much more feedback. And you're getting good feedback from the front end of the business. You're getting great feedback from the back. I would like a little bit more weight in the steering, especially in sport mode, and maybe just a little bit more feel. But other than that, they did a great job and continue to do a great job with this Stinger platform. All right, guys, second gear once again. On throttle, here we go. Holds the line nicely, look at that. Very smooth, very composed. I like that as well. Brakes are great. Obviously, they're gonna get heated up if you're really going down a long, twisty road, or twisty roads for that matter. But for what I'm doing right now, brakes are feeling great. Let's go out on the highway and see how the GT line handles the highways and byways and open road. I like the way there's a gear indicator in that 4.2-inch digital display. Off the line, the engine is hurting. You are waiting for that turbo boost to kick in, but once you are rolling, I'm happy to say that it really just allows it to just accelerate so much easier. I'm sure you heard the emergency braking. You are going to get those safety features. Always like to try to showcase those without getting myself into too much trouble, obviously. But getting out on the highway, I'm going to put it back into automatic mode for the transmission, that is. We'll keep it in sport mode overall. I think the nice thing is with the extra horsepower, merging is a lot easier, of course, and also getting into other lanes and being able to pass people as well. Blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, you're getting all the safety features that you want. And I'm telling you right now, in sport mode, it keeps it right in the sweet spot of the power band, that when you go back on throttle, the transmission doesn't have to immediately drop back down to get you going. That's another nice sign that things have been really engineered properly, and all the programming of the shift points and everything has been done very well. Driving down the road with the 16-inch wheels, with the 18-inch wheels, 16-inch wheels, 18-inch wheels, it feels good, smooth. I mean, it's nothing too jarring. There is a little bit of road noise, but nothing more that you're gonna find in any of the other two brands that we're comparing this to. And of course, you can compare this to what Audi and Mercedes is doing as well. I chose Genesis and the BMW 3 Series because everybody keeps asking me questions about that. And I love the questions. I just want to help answer those questions for you. But really, really nicely done on the GT line. I thought it was going to be really slow and sluggish and not much of an improvement, but I can honestly say you can feel the changes that they've made with this vehicle, and that's a really, really great thing. All right, let's go underneath this U-turn of this overpass here. Nice downshifts, very balanced. Here we go. On throttle. Nice. Nice improvement, and I'm happy to be able to share with you. Hopefully this gave you a great overall feel of what the GT line is all about. We're gonna get back to Loki Kia and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Loki Kia. I definitely gotta thank Danny, Rob, and the rest of the crew getting us access to their very first 2022 Stinger GT line. Nice to see extra horsepower, that clean style. Let me know what you think. Are you ready? Do you think you're ready to get rid of the BMW badge and go with the GT line? It's got more horsepower and obviously more usable space. I'm very curious to hear what you got to say. Or would you go the G70? Which also, remember, the Stinger has more room than the G70. But let me know in the comment section if you want to keep seeing these performance sedans of all sorts on Raiti's Rides. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the first link, become a Raiti's Rides Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the muscle behind the camera. She's out here in 100-degree weather. Show her some love in the comment section. Lori, I'm going to buy you a big old bucket of ice cream. Thank you for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.